So, you're in Japan. You want to catch a soccer game. Cool! But how do you buy tickets? Well, there's a few different ways, and unfortunately it's a little confusing because not every team you can buy tickets online. Some teams you can, but some teams you can't. For example, Hiroshima Sanfrecce. If you are visiting from overseas, you cannot buy tickets online. But I'm going to show you how you can, what to do, and how to enjoy a game. So, let's do it. So, first, let's see what you can do here. Recording. Alright, so let's see how you can buy tickets online. First, let's say I want to catch my home team, Sanfrecce. Okay, so cool, I type in Sanfrecce, look, English website, yay! Alright, so let's click it. Alright, so you get to see some things here, pretty awesome that they have an English website, and I think most teams do. You see this thing, ticket, right, let's click ticket, okay? You click ticket, it takes you to the English J League website. Okay, well, it didn't quite. You see, here's the thing. It didn't quite take me where I wanted to go. I clicked ticket. You'd think it would take me to a ticket section of the website. Kind of jank. So let's say I click Sanfrecce. Still want to go see Sanfrecce game. You get a ticket. All right. Cool. All right. Buy tickets. Oh, I'm going to grab this Toyota Stadium. Huh. So here's the thing, especially with Sanfrecce, maybe it's the same with other teams, I'm not quite sure. For all of Sanfrecce's home games, you cannot buy them on the English website, but you can buy tickets for other teams like Tokyo Verdy or any Nagoya Grampus. You can buy their tickets online. And here, I'll show you what that looks like in English. It's pretty straightforward. It's actually extremely bare bones. Unfortunately, you don't get a cool ticket map. You can't really see where you are. For example, let's say I wanted to see Grampus and Sanfrecce. Okay, so this is the English website here. Performance date. You just click the date. Now, this is it. This is all you get. So unfortunately, no seat map in English. It just shows you just the name of the section. You have to probably go to Nagoya Grampus' website and check to see if they have a seat map, and then you can kind of get a rough idea of where you're sitting. But pretty straightforward, pick your tickets or pick however many seats you want. And yeah, it's all in English. Ticket service fee, 1,100 yen, about like $10-ish, maybe a little less, $8 service fee. And yeah, you just fill out this information. It's a barcode sent to your email, and then yeah, you can select what country you're from or whatever, and that's pretty much it. But the only problem is that this is only available in English for certain teams. So, for example, Sanfrecce does not have this option for their home games. So, okay, maybe you're American and you're used to the ticketing website StubHub. Okay, well, StubHub, you type in Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Hey, look, there it is. Problem, again. So, here we are. Sanfrecce versus Kawashi Royal. Okay, maybe I butchered that other team's name. 30 tickets remaining for this event. This stadium is brand new. It has a capacity of about 34,000. They play at a stadium now called Edion Stadium, Hiroshima. It just opened this year. It's super beautiful. I'm going to a game in a few weeks from now, and I'm super excited. Maybe I'll make a video about that in a few weeks. So for example, let's say I wanted to go to this game and I wanted to buy some tickets. So I click the link here. My MacBook Air is really struggling. So, this is it, huh? 2 tickets, 2 listings in that big old stadium. That's it. Well, again, here's the problem. You can't see where you're sitting. again, of course. And I think this is kind of expensive, maybe. Again, and the other problem is if you look over here, as I said, they have a brand new stadium called Edion Hiroshima. This is the old stadium, Edion Stadium, Hiroshima. And it's up a little bit into the mountains, not quite in Hiroshima City. If you visit the Atomic Bomb Dome, the stadium is literally across the street. Can't miss it. So this is super misleading. I do not recommend buying tickets from StubHub because, one, it shows this completely wrong stadium. It's the old stadium that they stopped using as of this year. So no, don't do this. You will be super confused. Like, what? Edion Stadium? All the way in the mountains? No, they don't use that stadium anymore. They use Peace Wing, Hiroshima. So what do you do if you don't want, if you're trying to see a team that's not like Tokyo or Nagoya or Osaka, where you can buy the English website online in advance? Well, old school, you're going to have to go up to the ticket window. But this is actually a good thing in my opinion. One, you don't get service fee. Two, I'm pretty sure for most teams, they have some English speaking staff because they have a lot of tourists coming through, especially Hiroshima, Tokyo. I don't think you'll have any trouble. Like, of course, Japanese would probably help you, but I don't think you need it because they have a lot of foreign tourists coming through. And if you're polite and you're very polite about it, I'm sure you have no issue. They have like a ticket map. They could probably show you where you're going to sit. So, and you get no service fee. Everyone's really nice here in Japan. I've never had a customer service issue here. So I think your best bet is just going to the stadium and buying your tickets at the ticket office window. So yeah, that part's pretty straightforward. However, if you live in Japan, it's a little bit different, of course. So for me, I live in Japan. I live in Hiroshima, so I can make a membership to Sanfrecce. Now, this part is only for people who live in Hiroshima or who live in Japan. But let's say I want to buy a ticket for Sanfrecce. Actually, let's walk that back. If you go to the Japanese website for Sanfrecce, and if you have Safari, this is actually pretty straightforward. What you do, let's say you go to the Japanese website here. So this is the Japanese website for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Now what I do, I'm on Safari, you hit translate to English here, and it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so now this is all in English, par of Safari's automatic translation. If I go over to ticket, it says price, seat, how to purchase. Okay, it shows the seat map, or at least the pricing options for each one, and it shows the layout of the stadium. Pretty cool. And then they have a 3D viewer too if you sign into if you have a Sanfrecce account, but again, that's only if you live in Japan. But if you go to the stadium, I'm sure they show you something similar to it, and they have this seat map for you here. Now, they show you some guides, some rules. There's a visiting team section as well. It's the same thing for NPB or Pro Yaku, Japanese Baseball League. It's the same thing. They have a visitors section. Typically, you don't want to sit in that section if you're the home team. Not typically a good idea. So here, let's see. About sales. Okay, so yeah, for Sanfrecce, place of sale, Sanfrecce ticket, that means it's their app, their membership. Advance and on the day of sale. You get a QR code, and if you do it with a credit card, no commission. But if you don't have a credit card, I don't in Japan, I use 7-Eleven, so they charge you 121 yen, about $1 per ticket, and then you have to pay an extra fee, about $2-ish when you pay at the convenience store, but then you get a paper ticket. So yeah, that's the only way you can buy tickets in advance for Sanfrecce, and it might be the same for those other soccer teams that are not available on the English J1 League ticketing website. But then again, like you can see here, match venue, same day ticket sales on the day, handing over the window just means physical ticket. And they do all cards payment, cash, credit card, Eddy, electronic money payment. So if you have PayPay, I'll Pay, there's a bunch of different ones in Japan. It's not like America where it's just Apple Pay or Google Pay. They have so many here in Japan. So yeah, those are the only two ways you can buy tickets for Sanfrecce, and it might be the same for some other teams. But yeah, it's super confusing because you go on the English website and you're like, there's only maybe five tickets or 5 games that you can buy tickets for between now and like the end of the season in November. It's super confusing, and I don't like the fact that when you click the English website for Sanfrecce, for example, it takes you to just the normal league table in the English J1 League. You click ticket. I don't like that. It's super confusing. And you have to click a team. And for example, if it's Sanfrecce, and there's a lot of tourists that come through Hiroshima, of course, maybe they want to catch a soccer game in advance. Yeah, it's not very user friendly, obviously. And I wish they cleaned up the English website a little bit, because what if you're flying from another country and you want to catch a match in Tokyo? You can't really see where you're sitting unless you do what I did for the Sanfrecce website, and you run it through a translator, you go through all these things, and you get kind of like a rough idea of where you're sitting. I think, there's room for improvement. By the way, on the topic of like the league table, I do think it's cool that they just put some games on YouTube for free, like these 2 games here, like the Antlers versus Uruguay Reds. That's going to be live on YouTube for free. They do that once a week, I believe, and they change up the teams every time. Or no, they're doing 2 games today. So that's super cool. That's awesome. And honestly, I went to the old stadium that the Sanfrecce used to play at. And that stadium was awesome. It was really, really hot. Super difficult to get to. I mean, there was a bus shuttle, but obviously I'm really excited for the new stadium. I can't wait to go to it. It's much more convenient to get to. There's buses, there's the trolley car. If you're like me from San Francisco, we'd say trolley car, but they say electric streetcar. There's many ways to get to the stadium. It's super accessible, and it's right near downtown, near Atomic Bomb Dome, so there's lots of good restaurants. The location is just so much better than old Peaceway or old Edion Stadium, which was up in the mountains, and it was a pain to get to. Like, this is aside from buying tickets, this is just my little story time thing. When I went to the game last year, you had to take a bus if you don't have a car. Obviously, I don't have a car in Japan. It's from, I believe it was Yokogawa Station. From Yokogawa Station, by bus, it's about like 20-30 minute bus ride. Going to the game wasn't so bad because I left early enough, but going home was rough because one, they only had one parking lot and one street that left out of the stadium. So when I wanted to go home, there was this massive line of people, and I think I have pictures, and if I do, I'll put them up here. But there was a huge line, and it took about 30-45 minutes just to get on a bus and to go home. To get back to Yokogawa Station, I had to take Yokogawa JR from Yokogawa Station to another train station to get to my apartment at the time. And it probably took, after the game, about like 2-ish hours just to get home. And it was, not a very good experience. Don't get me wrong, that stadium had that like old feel that there was no Jumbotron. It was that super old, like just orange scoreboard. The clock was like a normal like hands clock, and it showed like just a 45-minute timer. So it was super old school. It had a nice charm to it, but now the new stadium has this massive screen and obviously all the amenities you need, way better public transportation getting in and out of the stadium, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, the old stadium, while it had its charm, it was rough. It was really rough. But I had fun, of course. I think and this is not me shaming MLS by any means, but the energy here is crazy. And if you go to a baseball game here, I love carp, of course. Maybe I'll make a separate video about carp tickets and my experience at Mazda Stadium, but it's electric. And this is not to say Americans don't care about soccer, but to an extent, I feel like soccer is a bigger deal here than it is in America because, oh my gosh, the fandom, the merchandise, it's crazy here. Like how dedicated the fans are. Maybe it's just Hiroshima. I can't speak for the other Japanese teams, but it's everywhere. Like everybody has like Sanfrecce goods. They might have a flag. There's, little trinkets everywhere. They do like little collabs with anime shows. Like last year, they did collaboration with Spy Family, or at least J League did. So every team got like their own like Spy Family collab. So I bought this towel last year, but I think this year it's Chikawa, which is like kids, like kind of like characters and things like that. So Chikawa, I think, is this year's collaboration with J League. But yeah, it's super fun. I highly recommend, if you're here for a while, obviously you want to see all the historic spots, especially in Hiroshima. Of course, go to Miyajima, Itsumoko no Miyaki, go to Atomic Bomb Dome. But if you're like a kind of sports fan and you want to like see what that's all about, and if you have the time, I definitely recommend you do it. The tickets aren't that expensive, to be honest. I'm going to a game and I got pretty good seats, kind of second level, but kind of closer to the stadium, or closer to the field rather, and I paid about 4,400 yen per ticket. So after the fees and everything, it was like maybe 8,000, 9,000 yen, which works out to roughly about $75 US for 2 tickets. Brand new stadium, really close to the field. It's super awesome, and I'm really stoked on that. I'll make a video about the new stadium when I go there, and maybe I can share some information about the stadium, maybe a little guide on how to enjoy it. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, maybe I'll make more videos about events, sports in the future, because I really like Hiroshima sports. Like I said, I like Sanfrecce, I like the carp, so maybe I'll do a carp video too. I just went to a carp game maybe 2 weeks ago. Maybe I can make a video about Mazda Stadium and ticketing with that too. But otherwise, if you found this helpful, cool, let me know. If you want me to make more videos like this in the future, sure, why not? I live in Hiroshima. There's tons of things I could be making guides for, but yeah. Anyways, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you get to enjoy J League just like me. See you!